back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We got a special for you. Is disclosure right around the corner? Are we going to see light at the end of the tunnel? Well, about a month ago, October 17th, right here at Third Phase of Moon, we made a special announcement that something right before Thanksgiving, information was going to be revealed that could set us 20 years in advance in technology and other aspects of the UFO phenomenon. Well, we're going to break it down in tonight's episode in regards to the statements and what has come out since right before Thanksgiving Day, including an exclusive with Dr. J. Andy Elias, who spoke earlier today with Eric Von Doniken, and we've got to ask him a few questions, and his answers may surprise you. So let's get it started. Buckle up, everybody. Was our prediction proper? Were we on to something? The source told us that there was going to be something revealed, and I think there has been a lot of things revealed within this past month. So let's break it down. The first one, I think, is quite interesting. A new technology released and claimed by China of hypersonic capabilities. Recently, China, shortly after our statements, experimented with a hypersonic craft that blew everybody away. Even America's assets can't compete, apparently, with what China has just done.
But it's a new breed of super-fast missiles designed to evade American nuclear defenses that has the Pentagon deeply concerned.
What we saw was a very significant event of a test of a hypersonic weapon system, and it is very concerning.
So China now has a hypersonic craft, unlike nobody's ever seen before. And could this be one of the things that has been revealed in recent times in regards to new technologies? Brent, what's your thoughts here? Yeah, Blake, when it comes down to new technology on the forefront, this is it, and it's rather spooky. I just read today as well that Russia and China has assets and their capabilities that we can't compete with. I know that we tried to do a hypersonic craft or missile last month, and we tested it, and we failed miserably. So China's on the forefront of technology that we should be highly aware of.
Hypersonic is a whole different league, at least 5 times faster, traveling around 4,000 miles per hour at a minimum, making a hypersonic missile quick and agile enough to evade existing U.S. defense systems.
And when we talk about disclosure, we believe that a lot of this is reverse engineered alien tech. So this is what we're talking about. We got so much on the plate tonight on what's revealed this past month, and it's a big one right near the end. That's right, Brett. We're going to reveal something that's quite incredible. And again, China's superiority in space and our atmosphere seems to have surpassed the United States technology. Apparently, it went around the world in less than an hour. This is incredible technology, and hopefully we could rival it. And I'm thinking the Tic Tac definitely can. And as you guys all know, I think we believe that the Tic Tac is one of ours. So who knows? Maybe we still have the superiority in space. Now, let's get to the second information that has come in relevance to our statements last month. Again, we talk about technology being in advance over 20 years, and now recently IBM has announced that they have achieved and are working on a quantum computer that will definitely change the world. Listen up.
It will give flexibility to design even larger quantum systems by linking processors together. System 2 represents a glimpse into what the future of quantum computing looks like, a true quantum data center. By following this roadmap, we think that by 2030, companies and users will be running 1 trillion quantum circuits a day. And we hope that quantum computers will be providing real-world benefits, solving some of the world's most important problems.
So is this what we're talking about? The technology being advanced in a way that has not been seen in human history? Well, IBM and their statements of what we just heard could change everything as we know it. And this is kind of the stuff that we're talking about at Third Phase, a paradigm shift in technology that the world will hopefully be in a better place as possibly predicted as our statements as well, that this would be a benefit and not a negative of this kind of announcements being made. Your thoughts on this quantum computing and where it could take us, Brent?
Yes, Blake, AI is a way of the future. Quantum supremacy seems like it's just right on the horizon, and it's going to be hitting us and the community real soon. This technology that's so new will basically break down and solve the world's mysteries. The dangerous part about it, like even Elon Musk mentions, is that AI and its supremacy could be a detriment to the human race. So we got to play this real safe and keep an eye on what's really going on with this new technology of quantum supremacy. It's going to be a game changer in science, medicine, and anything you could think of. And I believe in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see this thing in full action.
And also IBM states that we will be having our own quantum computers. So could you imagine this kind of power and speed process and equations and everything that entails, like you said, Brent, health, aerospace, you name it, quantum computing, it's here. And it has just been announced again this month that IBM has their quantum computer, and their ambitions are huge. Now, we even have more things that happened this month, so this one's a pretty interesting one. NASA is protecting Earth from a threat? Well, yes, they are, according to them. Listen to this.
Launched 30 seconds there aboard a Falcon 9 rocket from Vandenberg Air Force Base.
So the DART program, I guess they want to blow up asteroids or divert them in ways that could prevent a strike upon Earth. Is this a good idea or is this a bad idea? It's interesting in the headline that NASA themselves are in the forefront of a threat protection. This is kind of a new role in my opinion, Brent, that NASA now is a threat protection system. I thought this would have come under Space Force and not NASA. So again, this is weird times right now. And as of just recent, a day ago, we launched the rocket to intercept and do a head-on collision with an asteroid with our own satellite. Again, interesting verbiage that NASA has taken the role of threat protection from Earth of impact by an asteroid. Brent, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, world destroyers. They've been around. They hit us before, and they'll hit us again. So it's about time we take action. It's rather a historical event to do something like this. And again, we're breaking down new technology on the forefront that we said would probably break within the end of Thanksgiving. This almost reminds me of almost a James Bond movie. Imagine a villain using this technology to ricochet or divert an asteroid into Earth's pathway. This is maybe science fiction, and authors could write about this, but in actuality, with this technology, I believe it probably will be used as a weapon in the future. Yeah, the implications, like you say, Brent, are huge. One is preventative measures, but then if it gets into a nefarious hand with this kind of technology, why not ricochet an asteroid and potentially destroy a certain part of the Earth itself or all of it? A global devastator. These are implications that are huge, but again, this is a huge statement, and what NASA's doing is taking the lead role on threat protection from asteroids. Again, another groundbreaking statement that has come out this month. Now, this gets really interesting before we get to the fifth revelation. This is the fourth. Recently, the U.S. Air Force and Space Force has come out with a little promotional commercial in regards to their achievements and where they see the future. And here's a quick clip of this commercial. Guys, I want you guys to keep a close look and see if you see the big reveal.
Find the unfindable. Discover the undiscoverable. This is what we do, so that the thousands of threats we hear about never have to become the threats our country hears about. Predictive analysis, joint warfighting, and real-time execution is our flight path. We must become a digital, interconnected force bringing people, machines, and data together. In the new world of joint all-domain command and control, we will leverage the power of artificial intelligence and win by operating at a tempo our enemies can't keep up with. What are they up to? The days of balloons and biplanes have been replaced by white bats, recon faster than the speed of war, and the most capable and innovative airmen and guardians we've ever had. When the future is coming at Mach 18, maybe the more interesting question is, what are we up to?
Right, did you guys see it? Let's back it up a little bit. Take a look at this. Is this the infamous SR-72? We've received information from some sources that the SR-72 is still indeed top secret and it has not been released to the public. But why in this commercial are they giving us a quick glimpse if indeed this is the SR-72? Some people also speculate that this is conceptual art, and my question is, why would they put conceptual art into a commercial basically showcasing their assets? Are they giving us a little trickle down disclosure right here? And whatever this bird is, it seems highly exotic in its nature. You can see the curves and the stealth attributes behind this craft. Do you think we're going to see the SR-72, and is this a sneak glimpse into it just released again within this month? This commercial breaking down top secret craft that we have possibly in our assets. Brett, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is a beautiful piece of aerospace machinery. Look at this thing. It's slick. Almost looks like something out of a movie. Maybe Knight Rider's double as a plane. This thing's awesome. Why is the military dropping these kind of hints and maybe trickle down disclosure? What's it all mean? We're looking at something that I believe is in our assets, and we're testing it right now. There's other birds in the system too that even in 1985, there's this development of these exotic planes that still haven't been released to the public. So what's with the SR-72 being the forefront of the new bird on the block?
Absolutely. Is this a little disclosure? I think it is, Brett, and it's interesting. Like we said, we're claiming that there's going to be a 20-year in advance jump in technology, and it seems this is possibly one of those cases. It looks like the Air Force or the Space Force might roll out the SR-72, and they're giving us a sneak peek at it right here in this image. Only for a few seconds, but there it is. And that's very, very interesting if you ask me. Now, here's the other one, guys. Like we said, there's going to be maybe a big announcement by our government in regards to the UFO phenomenon, and we said it was going to happen before Thanksgiving. Well, this is the day before Thanksgiving, and this just dropped today. The Department of Defense announced its plans to streamline the collection of analysis of UFO reports across the government, following the government's acknowledgement earlier this year that these reports are worth studying and may pose a national security threat. The department will create a unified group to handle these reports of UFOs, formerly known as the UAPs, Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, and the military branches and other government agencies. The new unified group is basically a tongue twister, and they're calling it the Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group. It'll standardize the process for reporting UAP incidents, as well as identifying and reducing gaps in operational and intelligence detection capabilities, collecting and analyzing operation intelligence and counterintelligence data, recommending policy, regulatory, or statutory changes as appropriate, identifying approaches to prevent or mitigate any kind of risk posed by the airborne objects of interest, and other activities as deemed necessary by the director herself, Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks. The big admission by the Pentagon, they're officially going to open up the office. Who's going to work there? Who's going to take these reports and process them? Who's going to basically vent the information? It's interesting that finally, at least, that the government's admitted that there's things in our skies that we can't explain, and I believe they probably could explain a lot of them, that some of these high-flying assets are some of ours, and possibly some of them are extraterrestrial in nature, no doubt about it. But finally, they're opening up an office. Are they going to deal with public evidence? That's my question. And that is where the real evidence is at. These military videos that we've been seeing over and over really don't amount to much. And do you think they're going to really give us anything and give it to the public? They should open up an office so the public could at least submit their evidence, or at least, guys over there, you might want to consult with us. We've got a pretty big archive of videos from the public, and a lot of it you guys might want to check out. And I think we could help out in a big way with the evidence that we've obtained over the past 10 years, opening up our lines and our emails to you, the people, sharing the information. So again, this is a huge announcement. Like we said, something was going to go down before Thanksgiving, and we've given you 5 examples. And this last one, I think, is a kicker right here, that they're actually opening up the office, and they admitted they're doing it as of the day before Thanksgiving. Brent, what do you make of this?
Yeah, this is big news, Blake. Yeah, exactly. The eve before Thanksgiving, and this bombshell drops. A new office. The Pentagon now takes UFOs seriously. Well, it's about time. We're looking at history in the making. Now they need to do it right. Who are they going to bring in? Who's going to be the head guy of this, or woman? Is it going to be Rubio? Is it going to be Leslie Kane? We're looking for bigger, high-profile, more knowledgeable people that has been in the field for decades, that really know what's going down, people that talk to the public and receive evidence that could really share and blow the lid off of this. We're not looking for people that hold on to UFO videos, that keep it close to the vest and don't drop it unless the major media drops it. We're the first. We break it down to the public, and that's what this Pentagon, this new office should be all about, what the people bring forth to disclosure.
Absolutely, big implications here, and I got a feeling this office might not amount to much. And basically, did you hear that tongue twister of a statement? I think with that, they just want to confuse the people altogether. If you had a UFO sighting, how would you even find this department? Because it is mind-boggling how they title this. Now, like we said, it was a month that came and went, and Thanksgiving is upon us, and that was a lot. There was a lot of information that came out. Maybe our source was onto something. Maybe it's just all coincidence. But I got a feeling it was something that really amounted to the conclusions of what this source says, that something was going to be said before Thanksgiving, and we put it out there. We put out the information, and all this has come forward. It's transpired over the past month. This is quite interesting stuff. Speaking of interesting, Eric Van Daniken, 87 years young, and let me tell you, he's got a lot of energy. And earlier today, Dr. J spoke with him, and we had some questions for Eric himself, and Dr. J obliged our questions to Eric Van Daniken, and some of his answers may surprise you. Listen to this.
Now, Eric, I told you a few hours ago, some filmmaker friends of mine, Thirdphaseofmoon, huge UFO YouTube channel, Blake and Brent Cousins asked a few questions, so they sent me to ask them to you here. So let me set this up for a second. I want to make sure, and there's still coming questions in the chat for you. Okay, so the first question for you is, do you think craft that resembles UFOs may have been reverse engineered by governments, and will it deceive the public, and will we blame a threat on aliens?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, maybe they tried to make copies of it, but maybe they learned. Maybe all the story of Roswell are true, and maybe we have learned some of their technology, and they try to do it, but we never reached the standard which extraterrestrials really have. We are far behind their technology.
And the other part was, well, no, you actually answered, because if we don't have that, then they can't use that as a threat. Okay, so the other thing is, do you believe that the major media like CNN, Fox News, and BBC's narrative that UFOs are a threat to mankind? Do you really think
No.
You know how they try to scare us every day? Do you think it's real?
You know, everything depends on the so-called spirit of time. In Germany, we have a great word, der Zeitgeist, the spirit of time. The spirit of time is what is reasonable at that time. And for the biggest part of scientists, UFOs and extraterrestrials are still unreasonable. So the spirit of time is still against UFOs and extraterrestrials for a big part of it. But the lower part will become louder and louder, and their voice will become louder. And the proofs by photographs, radar diagrams will become more and more that it is simply a question of the next years that officially we will be informed, yes, we are not alone and we are under observation.
Eric, I can't wait for that day. Okay, they have one final question, and for everybody in the chat, I know several of you have written comments for Eric and a couple of written questions that I couldn't get to. I'm going to tell you now, start putting your questions because we don't have much longer with Eric. And I want to thank you, Eric, for being so kind to give us a few minutes longer. Okay, they have two more questions for you. Have you ever heard rumors that these UFOs were recovered by archaeologists?
Not by archaeologists, no.
Do you ever heard of Bob Lazar?
Of course, yes.
Okay, Bob Lazar, when he was interviewed by Joe Rogan, he was talking about working at S4. One of the 9 craft at S4, he shared this information for the first time in that interview. He said that in the 6 months he worked at S4, he learned that one of the 9 craft was actually found in an archaeological dig. We don't know if that's 20,000 years, 20 million years, but what do you think of the possibility of something like that?
I really hear this for the first time. In archaeological side, I would know it because I know practically everything what is mysterious in archaeology. I never hear that the UFO crashed spacecraft was found in an archaeological site. No, not to my knowledge.
So we urge you to go check out the entire video with Dr. J and Eric Van Daniken and their incredible interview. We're going to be supplying the original link to Dr. J's interview earlier today. So go take a look at that and tell Dr. J Third Phase of Moon sent you. Now, that being said, guys, we've got some UFO videos coming in to our emails, and we're going to be sharing them with you as soon as possible, most likely in the next 12 hours. So buckle up for that. And if you've captured anything amazing, like I always say, upload that UFO video to YouTube, copy paste that link to my email. It's in the description below, and maybe, just maybe, we'll share your video to the world. We appreciate everybody in this live premiere tonight. You guys have been great. Thanks so much for the support. It's been an amazing month, and anticipating some of the things that we're going to be going down, and we got a plate full on this one, and that's a good thing. Be safe out there. Keep your eyes on the skies. Blake Cousins. We'll see you next time.